as a young kid in Belle Glade, well, across the ditch, 2 miles outside of Belle Glade.
Now, don't ask me how did we get that name across the ditch. But hey man, it crossed the ditch. Everybody was hollering across the ditch, so that's what we playing at. I'm from the project, Okeechobee Center, #1 project. Shit, cause it was about in '69 before I found out it was a Belle Glade. Cause we had everything out there. We had stove, we had little center, like center building. They had dances and parties and everything in them places like that. So we ain't had no reason to leave or come across the ditch.
We just hang out across the ditch. Uh, we'll go to Belle Glade on the weekend, just walk the street. 12 years ago, I didn't know 9th Street. I didn't know that now. 12 years, I didn't know none of these streets because the project was my thing. I'm so project, God knows.
Well, my dad died at the age of, when I was 8 years old. Mom had 3 girls and 3 boys, and we played around across the ditch. It was a lot of gambling going on back in those times. And quite a few people was old across the ditch because they did a lot of gambling, the bars, the pool room. And as I was growing up, I can remember Mom teaching all of us how to play poker and tonk and pad. And we used to gamble against our grandmother playing pad for money.
Cause we had to get our own fun. Nowadays they got video games and all this right here. We didn't have that back then. We had to go get a rim off a bicycle and get us a clothes hanger and push it. That was our fun. Ride, see who the fastest. Or we'll go out and play a little football on the fields, out in the field. Every field out there, we played football and basketball and stuff like that. Had a little fun back then.
It was great as a child growing up. You know, it was hard because after our dad died, we had to help Mom a little bit. We went in the fields, orange field, cucumber field working.
In the 60s and the 70s, in the summertime, Belle Glade was a dead city. Wasn't nobody here. We did 6 months and 6 months. My family, we went up to Maryland. We was up there probably to November and came back and we was here to June. But it all changed out in the last of the 70s and the 80s. And then what really changed it was the cane industry. Because we went from going from a winter vegetables where we did celery, we did tomatoes, we did cucumber, we did everything. This was the winter vegetable capital of the world. But the sugar cane got subsidized. Once the sugar cane got subsidized, you had year-round jobs here. So people didn't have to migrate so much. Because you only migrated in the summer because there wasn't no work in the summer.
My father was a contractor, two generations. In the summer, April and May, we takes off and go north, take the crew up and go north. And my family being 11 sisters and brothers, we worked at 5 years old, worked in the field. That's what we did. Yeah. You know, come back then, go back to school. But the summertime, we work in New York, work in the field.
In the 70s, it was great. I mean, everybody in Belle Glade had money because we had all the sugarcane peoples that came from Jamaica cutting cane and stuff. So the businesses was booming back in the 70s.
You just had to make the best of things. You know, you make the best of things in your given situation. And me growing up as a migrant worker, working in the fields, and I was raised by my grandparents, born in Belle Glade. Parents split up, raised by my grandparents. So my siblings went to other places, Miami, Jacksonville, but I stayed in Belle Glade. Moved to the projects, began to work in the fields at age 8. Never forget, the first field I went to was a tomato field, and started working in the fields, making a little money on my own, and then next working with my grandfather, doing yards around Belle Glade, doing yard work.
The way you made money, like with Rob and stuff, was like actually running, catching rabbits and doing things like that. And right now, I see kids selling rabbits for like $5. Man, we couldn't sell but $1 rabbit back then, but we had different ways of making money back then when we, because I mean, it was always field work and different things that you did in the past. It was always right there. You can go across the street and pick beans. Actually, where you see a lot of lots now, we can walk across the field and we can pick beans.
Oh God, shooting marbles. We shot marbles, man. Shot marbles, made bow and arrows, had slingshot. We killed birds and run rabbits. And every time we see a sugarcane field catch a fire, man, that's when everybody either running or getting their bikes, you know, trying to go in that direction so we can catch some rabbits, man. But that was, and also playing ball, man.
The back of the project was a playground for us. The bushes was a playground.
Yeah.
We built the goal on the pole,
Oh,
rim
yeah,
on the goal.
yeah, right by
And
your
we
house.
played there, right there.
Yeah.
And we ran to the street. Guess
One day the kids were playing on the baseball field in the project, and I walked down there one day, and the guy said, "Well, we need a coach, so cause we can't play the game without a coach." So I said, "Guys, I don't know much about baseball, but I do my best today since y'all need a coach." And from that day, and it's been 50 years since I've been coaching, you know, working with kids and stuff in the community. You know, from that day on. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to sports, like Mr. Butts earlier.
Mr. Bush earlier now.
You know, I was like one of the crew with a lot of other guys. What, you know, names not involved, right? But he gave him the right to make us men. You know, we're gonna play softball. We're gonna play run around. You're gonna
Through
play
Mr. Butts,
basketball.
right? Through
Right.
Mr. Butts.
You're gonna
Through
play
Mr.
basketball. Keep them out of the street.
Yeah.
Flag football. It wasn't a problem with him.
Yeah.
And see, Bus had a surrounding cast with him too.
The way the project was set up, you had a football field just about in every single block because the houses went around like a square, and in the center of the houses, in the backyards, was the field. And so we would go on different fields. We would go on Washington Street, on Carver Street, on Roosevelt Street, and everybody had a field, man. So we had the different areas, you know, that we would beat up and play football in.
And then we had the big field, you know, so it may come a times where we play against the older guys in the sandlot. They're going to be gentle with us, but they told us don't take pity on them. So that kind of taught us a little difference between the game of being a man young and having a bad decision later.
And then we had the basketball court.
Coming up, Rob was a good kid, you know, like I said, he didn't say much, quiet guy, loved the basketball, you know.
Yeah, they wanted me to play, but I wouldn't play. But I would come home and do the same thing. I would come home and play football without any uniform or nothing on, and I would play basketball. But they wanted me to play for the school. It was just one coach. He would ask me every year when I'm in PE class. He seen the talent in me. You know how somebody can see some talent in you, but you can't see in yourself. And he saw this talent. He said, "God, man, go out for football." And I would say, "Okay, Coach Frost." And I wouldn't even go out. And next year, he would tell me the same thing, "God," because I was in his PE class, and he seen that I was just as better than the guys who played football. But I wouldn't go out. Then finally, my senior year, I played basketball.
He's 79, class of 79. I'm class of 81. I always, in school, knew him. I always knew him since then. We got to know him, he been older. I got to know him. This is all right, I said? I got to know him. Now, when he come on David Street, he in a pair of skating, and get the half of the project to get skates and ride behind him. And skate. I don't think none of them knew that. They can tell you that story.
That's when they had the shoe skates.
Yeah, the shoes, the boot
Tennis
skate.
shoes.
And he would come on our street skating by himself. Him and I can't call his name right now. And that drew everybody want to ride the skates with Robert Plow.
Well, you know, he didn't say much. You know, he wasn't one to talk too much, but man, he liked to get down on the sports though, man. You know, I don't care what it is, running, racing, playing ball, playing football. He just had a natural gift, man, just to do that. And the thing about it, he's always treated people right. You know, he never got into too much. Just a nice, calm, I would say like an even keel person. You know.
Always been his motive for me being a kid. In fact, why you over there? What is your purpose over there? Everything you got is in the project. Why are you over there? You right.
He was godly sent. If anything I had to say, he was godly sent to a lot of people's lives.
Well, I mean, ever since I've been knowing him, I mean, he always respected me, I respected him. You know, like I say, I've always been a humble guy. You know, if you didn't know who he was, you didn't know he was in the crowd. I've never heard him curse. I mean, I ain't never tried to be nobody that he wasn't. I always was the same guy. You know, and that's who he is now. You know, so good guy.
I respected the project. I respect Mr. Butts, Robert, Across the Ditch, Cannonball, Tim, Tom. I respected those guys.
I don't see him draw the hardest criminals in the world around there like babies around him, you know what I mean? And he ain't got no weapon or nothing. They ain't saying nothing. They ain't never seen him talk loud or nothing, you know what I mean? And it just show you, you know what I mean, what kind of presence he has in himself, you know what I mean? So you take that from then and you bring it back to the nonsense he got out. You know what I mean? Just the influence he got over the community to make people want to, you know, work harder and try to, you know, accomplish something.
He's been the same, still the same now. Still the same mentality.
Because I can remember me and some friends of mine, we was in a car one night, and we was in school, and one of the guys pulled out a joint of weed, and they passed it around, and they came to me, and they said, "Huh, man," they called me June, "Huh, June, take a hit." And my first man said, "Rob, you know you don't smoke." Then the second man said, "Don't be a square." And I thought about it, I said, no, man, I don't want none. So they smoked it and we rolled, but they were still my friends. Even though I didn't smoke, they were still my friends. And that was around about 78.
I met Mr. Clark when I was probably about maybe 10 years old. 10 years old, I met him in the project. He was a little boy. He's younger than me, so I think he's about a couple of years younger than me. So he was one of the younger ones coming up, you know. And I met him then, and so you know we had different little running partners. So I was ahead of him in school, and I played basketball for the project. I played basketball for junior high. I played basketball for Glade Central also. And so he was at a lower area than me, and he was just always known to be real quick and fast. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, you know, you hear about him in the project, and then the thing about it, everybody from the project knew everybody from the project. So, you know, the project stuck together, you know, no matter what, you know.
The thing that we had from the ditch banks to the project was we had a unity with each other. Yeah. If he come through and see me somewhere at the low ramp when it was dirt, "What you doing up here? You know we got a tournament tomorrow." "Well, take me home because you finna go home." Yeah. But if you didn't see me, I hang out all night, and the next day just get in the van and go play basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though? Yeah. It was just a... And when I see him, I try to duck him, but you can't, because they're everywhere. But it was the unity of, you know, you can get caught up, but I didn't.
I've been coaching over 50 years, so I tell some of my kids that I coach now that I went to school in the project.
You know, at the times when we was coming up, everybody was into something. Sports, track, we run in the streets. We're gonna play football in the daytime, but we're gonna run in the streets at night. Not in the day, we're gonna run at night.
One thing about Belle Glade, we're such a close community. We stick together. We like latchkeys, you know. We ain't worry about DCF. Everybody looked out for everybody and helped raise each and every one in the community.
But if you ain't have that in life, you don't really have nothing, you know. Me being the age I'm is now, I respect, you know, the idea that I had the chance to do that at a young age, and then they had the experience like young guys now at the age that they're now. They're exposed to a lot of things that is different, to the streets and wildness and shooting. When me, I had guys that was older than me and my age that was from the project that say we need to go.
One time we went up through there and this guy was messing with, he ain't like me or Robert. He ain't like me because I'm from Georgia. He ain't like Robert because Robert was having something and he was messing up so bad. So the guy was just picking on us all day. And I said, "Robert, let me hit this joker." Ralph said, no, don't hit him, don't hit him. He kept on. I said, Ralph, let me hit him. Ralph said, no, don't hit him. So we walked on around by the Bluebell and getting ready to walk over there to the Jamaica Club. That joker knocked my pork chop sandwich out my hand. Boy, I ain't Ralph no more. And he took out running. He took out behind him. He ran through the little cab stand, and somebody said, he done slipped down. Ooh, I went and got on him, and Ralph was standing over me. I'm like, whoop him. I thought he didn't want me to whoop him. It was fun back in them days.
They was knocking people out in there, damn thing back then. Whooping their ass too. You had to know how to fight to come up now.
Just would never play in the project. You play in the project, you win, you're gonna fight.
I say, yeah, you have disagreement with guys. You might have fights and different stuff like that, but that come along with the competition and it come along with the drinking also. So once you start drinking, people start thinking different, and you had those little things like that. But for us, that's chilling and doing that. It wasn't no whole lot of hatred. We had more love than you had anything at those events, because everybody came together as a community, and we had more love than anything.
It was over and over fun stuff over there, but you know, then we have good time parties.
Look, drinking, that's about it. You know, they did a lot of drinking over here, but I couldn't come over here when I was too young, but when I did, this was the place here.
Oh, that was all fun. That was fun day. Every Sunday, we were gonna have a barbecue. The DJ was gonna be out there playing basketball, and they even one time they were putting on the boxing gloves out there, sandlot boxing. So it was fun, man. I mean, it was just like a big party every Sunday.
Every Sunday, we call it Fun Day in the project. Every Sunday, the communities would come out, and you know, he would literally feed the entire communities, not just the project itself, but Pahokee, Belle Glade, Clewiston, Moorhaven. You know, we had a lot of fun times, and everybody had a positive, you know, attitude when they came to those cookouts. You know, it wasn't any shooting, it wasn't any violence. Everybody was just laughter and, you know, listening to music and enjoying the game of basketball.
I mean, he cook out and feed everybody. You know, back in the day. I mean, anybody come eat, he didn't turn nobody down. Eat what you eat.
Okay, like on Sundays, he'd throw a cookout in the park in front of the project. Guy put on the boxing gloves, and a couple guys go out boxing and stuff. I remember this guy, it was Slick, and a guy named Bobo. And both of them been to prison, and both of them know how to box. And so them two got the gloves on, they boxing, and Slick whooped Bobo that day. So now next Sunday coming up, Bobo went jogging all around Belle Glade, go all the way P. Hogan run, got himself in shape. He come back, he put something on Slick. You hear me? We didn't have the children everywhere, you know, everywhere. Rob just threw the big barbecue for the whole community.
Ice cream truck come by, he stopped ice cream truck and ball the kids out around the park, ice cream. And then on Saturdays, the lady at the park, it's a lady that lives close by the park. He's like, hey, we need to use your electricity to set up the DJ system. And K-Love was the DJ back then. And he'll pay the lady.
You had 1, 2, 3 clubs.
Before they opened the club up, we just go over there to El Ranchito. And I was a country boy. I ain't know I ain't do all that dressing. I might have on some scrack with some plaid on, you know what I'm saying? And I go in the club, might be a red and white ball. I go in there with some plaid and polka dot or stuff on. Have more fun than anybody in the place. It was just over and over, good times. And going to like on Saturday, we always go to the flea market down in Miami. Just walk around them, buying jewelry, clothes, looking at women, and just having a good time.
You had 2 stores. You had this house here before the little guys there moved in.
Okay, Club Xander, you know, like, I just go, like how Wednesday night used to have the comedy show.
I had a friend, and he knew Marvin Dixon. When we got in touch with Marvin Dixon out of Miami, he was a comedian. And I think one time on stage, he spilled butt into his underwear. And he would have acts coming to 183rd Street studio on Wednesday night. And he would have Bruce and some other guys come down. And he would call us, because we had him to come down first, he did a show. And he would call us, and then we say, man, who you got coming? And then they say, Bruce. And we would go down to Miami and meet Bruce and say, look, man, the next night, which was Thursday night, man, we come on down, we pay you. And that's how we got him. Matter of fact, one of my groups did a show opening up for Brian McKnight.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. MC Unlimited and 1+1, they opened up for Brian McKnight.
Bruce, I mean, all the top level comedians that were doing that time always made a path through here. And we was able to get them in, and it was good. And these guys good, and it was a great thing for the community because everybody came out and saw them.
And I would have guys come down to do a show. I had these few guys from New York come down, and they would do their show, and the crowd would be cracking on them, and they would say, man, I can't do my show, man. They might want to fight. I said, man, look here, don't worry about those guys out there. I said, I got you. I said, ain't none of them guys gonna do it. All they gonna do is crack jokes on you, crack back on them. And a lot of them was scared to do their show, but they wound up doing it. But when I got Bruce in there, they went to cracking on him. Bruce said, hold it. Now, I ain't no really comedian. If y'all wanna go freestyle, I'm gonna go freestyle. And Bruce would go freestyle. And I can remember Cannonball, he would love to be sitting there joking. And man, he went to cracking on Cannonball. Cannonball ran and hid in the bathroom, And people out there saying, is he through, y'all? He said, he was hollering, come on out that bathroom, Cannonball. Come on out that bathroom.
That night there, when Bruce kind of went to the bathroom, and when anytime you get up and move, and that's the worst thing you can do on Bruce show. You get up and move, he gonna ride you some. It was just fun, and the jokes I had, I got them from Cannonball. I said, Cannonball, you can tell them jokes. He said, no, shout. I can't bring it out like you bring it out. We go in the bathroom, he'll get to me in the bathroom, and I go out there and tell the joke. Even good jokes, too.
Yeah, Bruce got me pretty good, you know, and it was kind of, because Bruce said he'd been to South Carolina, and that's where the ugly-ass people come from. He said, look around in here, some of them done made it down here. I'm like, so you see him right there? I'm like, he pointed at me. I'm like, I said, that's all right, Bruce. That's a bad one, man. So he definitely got me shining on me real well.
Cannonball, God Bless the Dead, Root. Oh boy, they fuck with them. Cannonball should have shot his mouth. He ain't want to shut his mouth. That big joker told Cannonball, the boy hit you so hard, when you wake up, you be hollering, man, why y'all did me like that? Why y'all hit me that hard? It was y'all, not him. It was y'all hitting him like that. But he rolled Cannonball in, God knows he did. He messed over my buddy.
He got me with that too. Yeah. But you know, it was all in good fun, and it was good because you know, definitely that's audience participation in. It was good, definitely good. But yeah, he got. But he was told to get me. They told him to get me, cause they knew I'm gonna get them.
Thursday night, just the guys hanging out. Friday night had the discos. Saturday night had the disco. I mean, people everywhere. Club Pipe every weekend. And Robert give away gifts and stuff too. Diamond ring, Rolex watches. You know what I'm saying? There's whoever name get pulled, he'll do that. But party, having a good time. Man, we had a good time in that club.
I can say one thing. I always care about people. So when I was doing my thing out there, on the weekend, I would have big cookouts. Anybody could come eat. I have little dance contests with the kids, little boxing, and they would win money and stuff like that. I have my little rap groups would come out there and they would be rapping, have the DJs out there, and this would go on every weekend. until the police would come stop us, tell us that we need a permit to be out in the field. And we'll stop for a while, then later on, maybe 2 or 3 months, we'll start back over again. And I just care for the people, you know. Even though I made money and stuff like that, I always took care of the people because I knew where I came from.
This was like a little restaurant. It been a house. It been a gambling casino. We had a pool hall right there where the fence at.
I just always try to sneak up there and shoot pool. And that's when back in the day they used to grab you by your shirt. Go home, boy. I was like, okay, man, you know, I'm gonna go home. But you go, when they leave, you go in that side door and shoot. Go home, boy. Yes, sir, yes, sir. That was Willie Green was staying there. But he always was, you know, it was like me, I'm 50. Staying across the ditch, I say about, that was jitterbug. You know, and never said nothing wrong. Little apartment in the alley. Never said nothing wrong. He always was that one like, why is you? His word was, why you up there? I'm like, why you up there? Why you ain't home? Come on. I know your mama don't come on. But he would never go to that door with you. He gonna take you home, but he ain't gonna go to that door with you though. You gonna open that door and go in, he gonna be gone. But he made sure you went home. You know, he was security.
Well, it was pretty nice, yeah, because I can remember the grand opening night. We had about 500 people come up in there, and it was nice. And you know, you make a lot of money off the door, and behind the counter selling the beer and stuff. We didn't have liquor license; we had beer and wine. But we took bottles sometime and just sold a little liquor sometime too.
Need some mirrors. Guys go up under the building and fix a pipe. You know, we have to dig a trench up under the building. It was about to fall down when he fixed it. But he had it right, real nice. And fights started all over there. But he had about 2 or 3, about 4 flashlight guys. Flashlight guys to keep the other jokers from breaking in people's cars. And one night they went to shooting over there. So I got behind the building. So when I got trying to peek, one of the flashlight boys came out and almost knocked me down. He running. I said, ain't you one of them flashlight boys? You better go out there and see who's doing that shooting. He said, you must be crazy. I ain't going out. He said, I'm gonna get his flashlight back to Rob. He threw that.